Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of the Little Thespian Podcast. On today's episode we talk to actor, writer, dancer, and so much more, Alexa Artzy. All things her new single, Myself, acting, theater school, and so much more. So let's hop into it. So, hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the 7th episode of the Little Thespian Podcast. On today's episode we have actor, writer, singer, dancer, and so much more, Alexa Artzy. How are you, Alexa?
I'm so good, Matt. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for being on. I've had so many great people on here.
And I know, I've watched all of them. I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you. I love all the support that everyone's giving me. And
of course.
It's so great just to have so many awesome people on.
Of course.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Yes, you too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's hop in. The first question, I have many questions in regards to theater for you after, but the first thing I'm going to bring to you is going to be, how does it feel to have your first single out? Myself?
Oh my gosh. Okay, having my first single out is honestly something that I thought I would have done never. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't think I was actually going to do it because for such a long time as a little kid, I wanted to write music, wanted to release pop music. We all grew up with Hannah Montana and these iconic pop women. And that was a big thing that I wanted to do for a long time. And then I found acting and I kind of put it aside. And then during this whole quarantine, I found myself writing so much, and I was able to write back and forth on voice memos on Facebook Messenger with a really good friend of mine, Adam Brandspiegel. Big shout out for co-writing the song with me. And then my girlfriend, Leanne Cal, produced it for me, and we were able to release it all completely from home. It was recorded from home, from my house. It was mixed and produced at her house. It was a completely at-home project, and I'm really happy with the result, and it feels amazing to finally have that part of me out in the world.
I bet. And for those of you that want to listen to it, which I highly suggest you do because it's amazing, it's down below. Go check it out. Yes. All of the links also will be down below, so go and check it all out, guys, because it's a treat. And I'm really hoping there's more to come from you.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot in quarantine, so hopefully more will be coming your way soon. It's definitely not the only thing that you're going to hear from me music-wise, so there'll be more for sure. Good.
So let's hop into one of the theater questions. So I'm going to do Vic's question first. There was many, but she had a very unique question in regards to how did it feel jumping into a production very last minute with her. She said you jumped into a production very last minute, and I want to get your take on that because I know it can be very stressful for people to do productions in general, but let alone jumping in last minute.
I did. That is very true. So I'll tell the story super quick. So last summer in the Fringe Festival, I choreographed a show called Bathory, and I had one dancer, and she was absolutely amazing. But I want to say 5 or 6 days before opening, she broke her elbow, and Victoria called me, and she was like, she can't do the show. I really need you to do this. And I was freaking out because I was also injured at the time. I was coming off of like a sprained ankle from dance season. So I'm freaking out. So with 4 days until opening, I reworked 3 dances to, accommodate like a completely messed up ankle. And I was able to make it work and do a full, I think it was 6 shows, 7 shows. I don't completely remember. Sorry, Vic, don't kill me. But yeah, so I was able to do a 7 show run with a 4 days notice. And that was probably the craziest thing I've ever done. But it also really opened my eyes to the work of like the people that do that professionally, like swings, understudies and stuff like that. So it gave me a lot of respect for those people and just a lot of respect for like artists in general, because like we gotta adapt quick sometimes, so it was eye-opening for sure, and it was so much fun.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm not one to dance. I was telling this with YJ last episode, or one of not last episode, but several episodes ago. And my God, to do that would just scare me completely. But you do a bunch of stuff. So I want to get your take also on the same question that I asked YJ, in a way. So you have done now singing, dancing, acting. There's so many arts you do. So what do you think is the most challenging and the most rewarding for you?
Okay, I think they're all challenging and rewarding in their own ways. So singing was definitely my first love as a little kid. Like I've been singing ever since I can remember. And that is also challenging in a way because like you're never done. I mean, as an artist, you're never done, but especially with me, because it's my first, I'm very picky and hard on myself with it, but it's definitely something that I love to do and I plan to continue to do. Acting came in very close with singing. Like, I watched movie musicals growing up. My first one was like The Wizard of Oz, and I just wanted to be Dorothy with so much of my heart. So I was like, all right, well, if I'm going to sing, I guess I'm going to act too. And then dance was something that came in a little bit later. So that was a challenge for me because I started a little bit late. I started when I was like 14. Like I really started. I mean, I did ballet as a kid, but like that was it. But I really started dancing when I was like 14. So it was kind of a challenge to be starting late with like these people who are younger and better because they've been going since they're like 3, which is typically what dancers do, 3, 4, like some crazy age. So yeah, that's a challenge for me because I'm still like, I have a lot of catching up to do. Like I'm 21, but there are like, 15-year-olds better than me, so I still have a lot of catching up to do, but yeah. And then obviously acting, I didn't get into acting challenges, but acting is like, it's never the same. You can play so many different types of characters, even like we went to school together, obviously. And like, even the 4 shows that we did, like none of those were at all the same. And I don't think I've ever had a show experience that's like similar to another, you know what I mean? So that's the acting challenge, I would say.
And to go off of that, there was a question in regards to what is your favorite show you've done at John Abbott College?
Oh, at John Abbott? Okay. That like narrows it down because I was like, ever? Oh my God. My favorite show that I did at Abbott, oh my gosh, like they all were so unique in their own ways, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Faustus because that role pushed me to my limits. That was something that I had never thought that I would be able to do. I played this very comedic, androgynous person named Robin, and it was hilarious, and it tested me physically and mentally. I didn't know that being funny was that hard. I thought funny people were just funny, but anybody can be funny, guys. It's fine. Yeah, that probably had to be my favorite because I think I learned the most in that experience.
Yeah. And yeah, it was such a fun show that playing against you, like with you.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, we had a lot together.
We did, and being part of that like basically comic troupe, the 4 was great, and
that was so much fun.
I miss it. I do. I miss being on stage. But yeah, so we can go off of that. How exactly did you get into theater? Because I ask this to every
Yeah.
guest I have on. So how exactly did you get into it? I know you said movie musicals, which would make sense. A
Yeah.
lot of people do get into that way, but how did it like progress for you? How did you find basically wanting to do this for a living?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously when I was a kid, I watched like a bunch of movie musicals that would be like Wizard of Oz was definitely the first one, 100%. And then I think my mom took me to see Beauty and the Beast at Place des Arts when I was like 7, and I was just like, whoa, like I was mind blown that like, oh my God, it's like right in front of me and they're right there because like a movie screen and a theater is and a theater. Movies and theater are very different. So whatever. And then also I grew up watching Disney movies, so that was just kind of like I was like, there it is. That's my calling. And then my mom signed me up for like theater classes. I've been taking vocal lessons my whole life too, so that's like a whole other thing. So I did like some theater classes, and then when I got to high school, I went to Rennie, and I was part of Rennie's actor studio. And in grade 7, I was able to be an extra because that program's only for like 9, 10, and 11, right? So I was able to be an extra because my drama teacher was like, hey, we need someone to play a kid. So I got to go on, and I didn't even have any lines, but I was like being backstage with all these older kids, and I was like, oh my God, like this is so great. And then I was an extra the year after in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was an Oompa Loompa. That was iconic. That face paint was ridiculous. And then I stayed with that program for my whole time in high school, and I was like, this is it. This is what I like to do. I was not a very good student at all. So that was kind of my motivation, right? I was like, okay, like I have to get good grades, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to come back and like do this program next year, you know? So that was definitely like it was a motivator for me. And I was like, if I like it this much, then I think I can definitely make a living out of it and do it forever. And I wanted to do it since I was a kid, right? So it's cool in a sense that like my goal has never really changed. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, to just say a word to that. It's good to see people who are just so like loving with their craft. Like just to see passion on stage or wherever you are, and you do that very much, and I love it.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. But yes, it's great to see people who are very passionate about what they do, and you could definitely see it when you act, when you sing, and when you dance.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
you're so welcome. So to go off of that, um, so you have now also done voice coaching for people. So how does that like play into stuff? How did that come to be? And how does it feel to know that you're a part of somebody's acting or whatever it may be, singing? You know what I mean? To do
Yeah.
coaching for them.
Mhm. So coaching for me is incredible. Incredible because okay, I got into coaching because I went to this music school that I work at, it's West Island Music Academy. I went there starting when I was 11, I think. That was where I took voice lessons for like 4 or 5 years, and I was in a band there too. They have like this band program where they put you together. And then I think it was a couple of years ago, the founder of the school messaged me and he was like, hey, we're looking for some new teachers, like, do you need a new job? And at the time I was like, oh my God, yes, I need a new job. Absolutely, I need a new job. And I got into coaching, and I was a little nervous because I hadn't really coached before, but having been coached since I was like 7 or whatever, I was like, yeah, like I think I can do this. You know, like I think I'll be fine. And it's like my students are typically younger, like I have a lot of younger kids. And then I started doing it and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is incredible because I've always told myself that like my backup plan in my head is to teach. So I can do that. I get to do that, and it's really amazing to be part of their like artist journey, I guess you could say. And it's really, really great. I get a lot of students who like musical theater, you know, if they get a call and they want someone to take, or they want to take like musical theater voice lessons, they put them immediately with me because like that's exactly what I want to do. And I have a student who's actually starting at Abbott, like, oh my God, tomorrow. Abbott starts tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, so I have a student who's starting tomorrow at Abbott in theater. So I'm just like, it's so cool. Like it comes so full circle. And I also like I learn so much from them every single day. Like I find that I can learn a lot from my students because, you know, like they'll do something and I'll give them a correction, and then I think like, "Oh, Alexa, you can make that correction. Come on, girl." Like so it's really awesome to have these kids who just have so much potential and to really be coaching the new generation of artists. That's how we keep it alive.
Yeah, it's true. Just to keep that passion going. It's great now that we have this platform to just spread more of this theater
Yeah.
creativity, and not just theater, but with all arts.
All art.
And to go off of school, so you're going to a new school very shortly. How do
Yes.
you feel about jumping into a whole new environment and then learning even more about the arts?
I am so excited because I did the program at Abbott straight out of high school. I wasn't ready to like take a year of grade 12 and then go to Ontario because Quebec is weird, you don't have a high school, whatever. So after Abbott, I was after Abbott, I wasn't exactly prepared to go to university right away. So I did the program at Abbott, and I think it was a great segue, and like it really solidified like, okay, this is what I want to be doing. 100%. This is what I want to be doing. I knew it. So then I took my year off, which I'm at the end of now, and I applied to a bunch of musical theater schools, and I'm starting at Randolph College in Toronto in like less than 2 weeks. It's crazy. So I'm very excited to kind of learn more about like musical theater as a whole. Like at Abbott, of course, we get singing, we get dance, but I'm very excited to super dive into that. So I think it's going to be a whole new experience, but still a great experience. And obviously, like moving's a little bit sad, but it's gonna be good to go to a whole new city, see
Of
all of
course.
their art and things like that.
And Toronto's amazing.
Yes,
Toronto's
big
great.
hub. Yeah.
Hmm. So, yeah, also to go off of that, so you're jumping into musical theater, and I know it's been really into your life from the beginning, but how did it feel to be a part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show just a bit ago? How did it feel to actually jump into a professional job um, in regards to musicals?
Oh, that was amazing. And I feel like that couldn't have come at a more perfect time because I was like fresh out of school and I just wanted something to do. And I had been going to Mainline to watch Rocky Horror for 2 years. And I saw the audition call and I was working up north and I was going to be home that weekend. I was like, I have to go. Like, I was exhausted because I was working like up north. I was at a sleepaway camp and I came home for the weekend and went to the audition on my like one day off. And I was like, I don't know, like it might not, I don't know, it might not work out. And then it worked out and I was so happy because it's amazing to just be able to work with all of these people who have been doing the show for a couple of years. There was some of the people that like I watched in the show and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the cast with these people now." It's crazy. So, it was such a good experience. It was such a positive experience to work with all of these a lot of them were much older artists and it was a really really good introduction to the world of musical theater because similar to Abbott, like it's quick. I think we had like a 5 week rehearsal process, so it's a really good indicator of like what the world of arts is because like it's fast. Like Abbott is 8 weeks, 6 weeks,
10 weeks.
10 weeks. Oh my God. Yeah. So ours was even shorter than that. And I remember like our teachers telling us, like, you might get 4 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then I get to Rocky Horror rehearsals and they're like, yeah, so we open in 5 weeks. I'm like, right. Okay. Awesome. But it works out. It all works out.
Oh, it was amazing.
Thank you.
And I mean, that's the thing too. Like, it could be at like the weirdest time, and it could be just thing that you don't think you can go and do, and then you do it, and magically you have one of the best jobs you could
That's it.
possibly get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to go off of that, I'm gonna keep saying that because it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
seems to roll right along. You know.
It's a segue.
Uh,
That's it.
exactly. So do you have any words of wisdom or experience for people that might want to write music like you did, or just try and do these amazing things we do in regards to all the arts?
Okay, I would say, it's so tacky, but like, just don't give up. Just keep putting your work out because people are gonna like it. You know what I mean? I was terrified to put my song out, but the response that I've been getting is so positive, and it's like it makes me realize like, oh, like I have a really good like support group of friends and a really good support group of artists who will just be there for you to support all of the stuff that you do. And yeah, so just don't give up, make connections, collaborate with other artists, because my song was not just me. It was a collaboration with one of my really good friends, and my girlfriend produced it. So it's people. Connections are super key in our industry, I think. So that would be
For sure. For sure. And I'm sure you got many more connections now because of the professional jobs you've done, choreographing and doing all sorts of things, right?
always making connections. It's great.
Exactly. And it really is based off of that, I find now in like our industry per se. It's always the connections you make that leads to something else. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Now I'm gonna say who will be on the next episode, and then we'll say a couple of words. We'll do a couple more questions, and then sadly we gotta go. But that's okay, because I know you have amazing things coming. So I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah.
Let's say who's gonna be on next week. Or not
I'm
next.
excited. I tried to figure out with the emojis.
So, on episode 8, which unfortunately will be a week, we'll have a week off due to school starting and people, you know. But after that, we will have Jess Nicolitz coming on for next week's episode, or the next episode, episode 8 of the Little Thespian Podcast. We're going to talk all things musicals. We're going to talk all things school. We're going to talk for a long time. So guys, definitely look out for that one. It's going to be a great time. So, Alexa, what do you think of Jess? Because I know you just had a huge smile on your face.
Yeah, so I almost went to school with Jess. I was so close. I auditioned for St. Lawrence College also, and I don't know, Randolph seemed like a better fit for me, but I auditioned and we talked about it, and we almost went to school together, and I've known her for a really, really long time through a show that we did in high school. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what she has to say about school and see. It'll be cool to watch that one once I'm into school already. It'll be good, I think. I'm
She's just finishing off, so it would be good to see a beginning and then an end.
That's it, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Me too,
Unfortunately, we have a week off, but that's okay, because we're ending it off with Alexa. So that's a great little week tidbit. Yeah, so let's hop into the next couple of questions, and sadly we got to go. But theater. Okay, so theater is something many people don't know if they want to do. What was really the catalyst for you to now not just pursue acting, but to also like become a person who just dives into all these different things? Because I know a lot of people are scared to do either choreographing like you've done, right, or whatnot. So what was the catalyst that drove you to not just become an actor, but also become a person that now is open to all sorts of these other parts of these arts?
I just think that I really like to continue to learn all the time. So when Victoria asked me to choreograph for the first time 3 years ago, because there was no Fringe Festival this year, 2017. Yeah, 2017. 18? I don't even know anymore. When she asked me to choreograph the Dollhouse Effect, was that 2018? That was 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
That was 2018. Yes. Okay. I don't know the dates. When she asked me to choreograph, I was a little stressed out because I had never really choreographed before. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay, think about it. You've danced, so you can try to be on the other side. And that's what's also cool about Fringe festivals. They really support these like kind of upcoming artists and things like that. And especially in our like first year of theater school, we were at the end of our second year, but I became a lot more comfortable with movement. I became a lot more comfortable with all of that. So I was like, you know what, like, let's try something new. And then it stuck. And then I choreographed for her again. And then I choreographed for myself, it's fun. And then in terms of writing, it was also something I'd always kind of wanted to do. And I was like, we all got into this quarantine, and I was like, what can I do to like make my time sort of worth it. And I was like, let's do something that I have always wanted to do. Let's write some music. Let's get into it, And I mean, it took off a tiny bit. There's a little takeoff. There's definitely more to come. It's going to continue to take off, I think. But yeah, so I'm someone who really likes to learn and grow from experiences. So I think that was a big factor in wanting to not only dance, but choreograph, and not only teach singing, but write my own music, and not only, all that other fun stuff.
So to end off, I'm going to say this last question, and then we'll shine a light, and sadly we got to go. But what was the most rewarding thing you think you have done during this time? Not just quarantine, but in general with all the arts that you've done. What's the most rewarding thing that you have taken with you from theater school and now beyond?
The most rewarding thing to come out of theater school, or to just come out of
come out of just your creativity that maybe spawned during basically theater school, and yeah.
So I think I have two. I'm gonna do a theater school, and then I'm gonna do a quarantine. So a theater school was probably our show that we did in our 5th semester, the Decalogue Project. That was such a good experience. I will talk about it until I die, because we really made an entire show ourselves in 10 weeks. Without even going out of school. In school, we were able to do that. And I just think that is the most incredible thing that you can do, is to learn to collaborate with other artists, and learn to be completely willing, and learn to just be completely not transparent, but just completely ready to go. And then Out of Quarantine is definitely my single. I never thought I was going to do that, and I did it. So I'm very, very happy that I was finally able to get it out. And I'm looking forward to continuing to create. If it's not here, it'll be in Toronto, but the internet's a magic place, and everybody will hear everything. So.
And something too that I really loved about the Decalogue Project is that we kind of played ourselves in it too.
That's it, yeah.
And it was good to see how vulnerable and how open people are. You know what I mean? Just to have yourself in it, which is incredible.
Yeah, I think all of us grew immensely from that experience.
For sure. And I mean, that's a great way to let it off and end this episode.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna shine a light on Alexa, because she's just an amazing person. I love Alexa. Love you.
I love you. I'm so happy we got to do this.
Right? But yeah. So she has done so much, not just for theater, and not just with her new single, which is amazing. Guys, you need to go check it out. But in regards to dance, in regards to all the stuff she's put out, it's incredible. And I'm so glad that you're being a catalyst for so many other upcoming artists. It's great to see that. And it's great that our amazing art's going to continue because of people like you. So thank you, Alexa, for all that you do.
Yeah. And thank you for starting a little platform like this, where us, up and coming artists can share our work and share our love of the art form. I think it's really awesome what you're doing. Also, give yourself credit too, please.
Thank you. All right. So unfortunately, guys, we gotta go. But thank you so much for being on, Alexa. Thank you for the amazing.
Thanks again for having me.
No problem.
And
again, all of these amazing artists and people that I bring on, I would love to have you guys back on. So I love you, Alexa, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
The lights are off. The curtain has fallen. And it's time to say goodbye. Thank you all for joining us on the Little Thespian Podcast. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask, either down below or on any of our platforms. On the next episode, we have the amazingly talented Jess Nicolitz. We're going to talk all things theater, all things musical, and all things school related. So it's going to be a great time with Jess Nicholas coming up on our next episode of the Little Thespian Podcast. However, we will not be doing our episode next week. This is because we're going to be taking a bit of a break. Not for very long, only a week. But it's a bit of a school break. Unfortunately, many of our guests are doing school. Also, is a bit of a break for us here at the Little Thespian Podcast, because we have been doing 7 episodes straight, and we just need a bit of a breather. So, unfortunately, we're just going to take 1 week off, but then we'll come back with the amazingly talented Jess Nicholas and many more guests. We also want to say just a huge thanks to all the support that you guys have gave us during this very dark time. And thank you for shining a light when we can't all the time. Unfortunately, a lot of lights have closed because of this global pandemic, but it's good to see that many are still shining so bright. So thank you all for the amazing support on these first 7 episodes. Go check out our playlist down below. We're also going to have it in our top right corner, so guys, go check out our playlist of all the 7 episodes so far, and we have so many great guests coming up, and great things coming to this channel, not just the Little Thespian Podcast, so stay tuned for that on our Instagram and all our links down below. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, don't forget to leave a like and comment, and guys, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll see you all on the next Little Thespian Podcast. This has been your host, Matthew Crandall. Don't forget to shine bright, and we'll see you all in a week. It's time when we talk to Jess Nicholas. Thank you all, and we'll see you all on the next Little Thespian Podcast.